You're a dead man, Snare!
Hey guys, welcome to another Over the Bite review, and today we are reviewing
Battlefront.
Star
Wars Battlefront, obviously.
Yes, the third game in the franchise, and it's called Battlefront rather than Battlefront 3, which is...
It would be confusing for just carry on a sequel.
Yeah, you know, because numbers, they confuse people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's made by the same people that have done all the Battlefield games as well.
That would be DICE.
Who have obviously made a name for war games of this kind of ilk. So putting it in Star and Wars with DICE, it's got nothing to do with DICE, but it's a game called Battlefront.
Although, I do play a Star Wars tabletop game and that has DICE. There you go.
Damn you!
Segway!
So yeah, this game is what you would expect from a developer like DICE. It is a war game. It's a run around and shoot everyone in the face game.
Yeah, definitely. Unlike all the other DICE's projects, though, this one doesn't actually have hardly any considerable single-player content.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very almost kind of non-existent.
Yeah, it's basically they've just thrown in a few options for bot matches and stuff like that. You know, there's some training levels that you can do, but there's no fulfilling single-player experience. So if you're after a single-player experience, you may as well don't turn off the review because we love you watching it, but you can just zone out for the rest of it pretty much.
Yeah, so the main part of this game is your multiplayer matches. Now they have all of the standard modes you'd expect from a multiplayer. You would have your basic deathmatch, and in the classic Battlefield sense, you have a game mode called Supremacy, which is your big all-out, lots of vehicles, lots of guns, lots of stuff going on, but a massive 40-man, 20 teams of 2, 20 in each team against each other. You're playing as rebels, you're playing as Empire. And it does seem to be skewed quite a lot in terms of which faction you're in. In the experience I've had, I've probably played about 12, 13 hours of the multiplayer. Empire seems to win a lot. If I had to put it as an average, it'd be about 70-80% of the time Empire will win a match. Unless you have a really good team, which is almost never the case, because this game is based on teamwork.
Yeah, like all the Battlefield games that came before it.
Yeah, and when you're playing on your own, unless you're playing with friends that you can talk to, you will never play as a team. It's literally spawn, run, shoot, die. Spawn, run, shoot, die. That's it. That's the kind of gameplay you're going to get, especially at the start.
Yeah, definitely. When you're lower level, you are getting killed a lot. You really need to put in hours and hours just getting killed repeatedly to actually get your character to the point where you've got access to better guns. You've got perk cards?
Yeah, star cards.
Star cards, but you get at level 17 it unlocks these 3 cards, which actually makes you just better, which is completely game-breaking and unbalancing.
Yeah, to have something like that at the point at which you've got lots of experience in the game seems a bit funny to me. They are expensive. I think the first kind of upgrade level is like 7,000 credits. And bearing in mind, if you're an average, below average player like me, you're probably earning about 300 credits per match.
Or about 120 if you're me.
Yeah, so it will take you a long time to save up that amount of credits just to get an upgrade. The upgrades themselves are like defensive, detection, and I can't remember what the third one is.
Survivalist.
I think that's the detection. But basically, they give you perks to avoid damage and detection, effectively.
Or have your health regenerate faster.
That's it. That's the other one. Yeah. So you basically have the ability to do that, but only after 17 levels, which feels a bit weird. Everyone's using the same guns pretty much. You have a basic, you have the complete block of about 9 or 10, 12 guns, ranging from hand blasters to standard blasters to heavy blasters, and those guns you have to unlock at certain levels with certain credits as well.
Yeah.
In the first week of opening or launching of this game, it didn't feel too bad. Everyone was using the same kind of guns, and people were better at the FPS than others. So, well, I say that in the way that everyone was better than me. But you go on and you play and you play and you play, and then by about a week in, everyone's got the top perks, and they're like level 50s and stuff, and that's ridiculous amount of effort.
Yeah, and it doesn't balance you when it's putting you into a match either. So basically, you could be going as a level 3 like I did and have all level 22s running about with all these fucking perks that you don't have. You don't even have the complete set of star cards at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it could be balanced, but just done really badly.
Yeah.
But let's not bash it too much to start with.
There are good things.
Yeah. Graphics, okay, and the presentation of it, can't fault it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great looking game, and I think more importantly, it looks, sounds, and feels like Star Wars.
Yeah, there's no question of that. Aside from the female stormtrooper thing.
Yeah, well,
might be a bit of a sexist comment, but I don't remember seeing any female stormtroopers.
That's because why would you not wear a helmet? It's a stormtrooper. It's an iconic look. Why would you? You have to spend money you've made to basically unlock an outfit for a stormtrooper that has like an uncovered head, and you can have male, female, several options, and then you have to pay for hairstyles as well. Which...
Yeah, that's a bit of a funny one. But to me, you can choose obviously a female and male character, which is applaudable.
Yes.
Or laudable. I can't remember what the word is.
I think laudable. But the only difference you can really tell on the female, if you don't have the head uncovered, is the belt slightly higher and the shoulders are slightly
wider. Belt goes a little bit higher.
I mean, they don't have like titty breastplates.
No, they don't have nipples like Batman Returns. Was it Batman Returns or Batman Forever?
It was
a clean one.
No, it was a clean one. It was Batman and Robin.
That's it, Batman and Robin.
There you go.
The chest nipples. But yeah, that would be obviously a bit too much, and probably limit it to an 18 rating probably. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. It looks fun. I mean, when you're running around in the snow, you can actually see your own legs.
You can.
I've looked down,
especially if you're in third person mode.
Yeah, but in first person you can look down and see your own legs, and that's always a good thing in an FPS or any game really we are in a first person perspective. The actual environments, they are interesting enough.
But there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, the locations, and you basically get a massive map for the big matches, and then sections of that big map for the smaller matches. So you don't end up spending 5 minutes running around and not seeing anyone, I suppose. To be honest, you won't see them anyway until they've killed you.
No, it's like, who's that?
But obviously, like you said about the video and what you can see on screen, the audio as well is perfect. The blasters sound like Star Wars. The commanders and voices and everything else sound like Star Wars.
Yep. The lightsaber emote looks like Star Wars, I guess.
I also managed to find an Ewok up a tree.
Oh, you found one?
I found one, and as you get nearer to him, he runs in his hut and shuts the door. So that's pretty cool. I like little things like that.
I would prefer it if you could have shot him.
You can shoot the Jawas as well. And they go, and then run off. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, I remember like force crushing Jawas in the Force Unleashed. That was far more satisfying.
Yeah, can we do that? Can we do that soon?
Well, they haven't really got any force powers apart from the hero units.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hero units, there are 6 of them, 3 for each side. You have Boba Fett, the Emperor Palpatine, and Darth Vader on the Imperial ones. And on the Rebel side, you have Leia, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker. Not sure why they've chosen Leia, because all she did was choke a slug, pretty much.
Yeah, and I have to say the powers that you get do feel, again, a bit skewed towards the Empire. Okay, let me put it in perspective. Emperor Palpatine can fry you. He runs around like that. It's really weird and off-putting. If we have a clip of that, we'll play that now. But if we, you've also got Darth Vader, who can throw his lightsaber, force choke you and throw you around and I think he can charge as well.
The
Palpatine
Palpatine can charge. I'm not sure about Vader.
Yeah, but they've got strong powers. Boba Fett can fucking fly and has wrist rockets that can shoot you from fucking miles away.
They can indeed.
We were streaming it together on Twitch the other day, and I was literally the other side of this huge map. When it shows you the kill cam of who shot you, I swear it was 3 pixels of red outlining this character. It was fucking minuscule, but he killed me with a wrist rocket. I was really irritated. But then on the hero side...
We're getting that, yeah.
Yeah, on the hero side, you've got Leia, who can put up a shield, Han Solo, who's got obviously a really good blaster, and Luke Skywalker, who can do a bit of Boba Fettish. Bit of Boba Fett style stuff, as in he can jump and kind of boost. He can also attack aircraft.
Yes, he can. That's mentioned in the tips. I've never seen it there.
Yeah, but it just doesn't feel as... I mean, when you're just running around shooting each other, the Empire skills seem a bit more helpful.
Yeah. One thing that is kind of weird is outside of the speeder bikes, the Rebels don't really have any ground units whatsoever when it comes to vehicles. And yet the Imperials can pick up anti-vehicle turrets.
Yeah, at times you do feel there's too many one-hit kills in this game, gameplay-wise. Too many one-hit kills. Blasters can do it if you're close proximity and you've got, something you've unlocked at level like 15.
Well, you can get the recycler gun or the cycler cannon or something, which is like a one-hit kill. It's a star card.
Yeah, it's pulse cannon. That's what it's called, I think.
No, that's lower. That's
is it?
You get that right, and then like right down the bottom.
I've only ever used the pulse cannon. Yeah, the way the game works, you see, is everyone has the same blasters, but you can kind of... You have 3 usable cards or abilities that you can use in the game. 2 of which are renewable kind of grenades, ion torpedoes for vehicles, that kind of thing. And you get 1 particular card that you have charges for that you have to run around and pick up in game. And I think...
Yeah, and the problem with the charges is they don't regenerate when you go across games. So if you run out, you actually have to pay in-game currency to actually refill your charges.
Yeah, which can be a bit annoying when you're trying to save your 7,000 credits up to be less destroyed by a grenade.
Yeah, or just on the level of everybody else, possibly.
Yeah, and my biggest issue is the blasters are the same, but the cards, you don't really get any kind of training on what cards would be a good combination. I mean, I've taken to the internet a few times to work out what would be a good combination. Yeah,
you say that, but because it's a team-based game and you're obviously trying to complement each other, because there's no class system or anything like that. No, but you should be.
You're supposed to be, yeah.
You're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because there's no class system, you don't know what all the other guys are bringing in terms of their star cards. So you can't... If everybody's got, like, fucking grenades and that shit, you can't go, okay, I'll take some sort of shielding device or defensive thing because that's going to help out. No, you're just going to go in there with a grenade because, like, the best way to kill anybody in this game is by lobbing grenades.
Which do regenerate very quickly.
Which do, and you just end up in a mass sort of hiding at one end of the corridor, throwing grenades at each other.
Yeah, and the worst thing is when grenades explode, you get a smoke cloud, which you can't see through anyway. So before you know it, 3 of the enemy have come through the door, stood waiting for the cloud to disappear as well, but there's 1 of you and 3 of them, and you just get mown down. I'm not bitter, but this game is fun to play with friends. I'll get that straight out as a good point. We played it together the other day.
It was more fun.
Yeah, if I can get hold of the footage, which I have saved somewhere, of Lee hiding on top of a massive ship in one of the games we played as Boba Fett. That was probably my favourite moment of playing this game so far. Watching him as his dead partner.
Fuck it! It's fucking Han Solo, bastard.
Oh, it's playing out like this is beautiful.
I've got 40 seconds and 20...
Get out there!
I'm gone! Running away! Oh, fucking lasers now!
Oh, this is brilliant!
Oh.
Mate, 24/7, that was valiant. That was a valiant hide. Well done. Going, get over there, Lee! You're gonna get hit! Just stay there! Okay, run!
Stay in the middle!
And believe me, when he actually died, I almost had tears in my eyes. It was so funny. But that's the kind of thing. Playing with friends in any game you get, it's not even worth saying as a positive, because if you're playing with friends and you're having a good time, how much of that is the actual game? Because when you're playing on your own, it feels a bit like a grind. It feels like you're always fighting to stay where you are.
Yeah, it's interesting because it reminds me of when you were talking about Assassin's Creed games, and you said you like making your own fun.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like becoming part of the story, getting immersed and putting yourself into that game. Whereas this one you can't.
No, you can't. So basically, the only thing you can do is have fun with your friends. But do you need this game to do it? Do you need this game at $60, £50 with as little content as it has to do it? I would say no.
No, and that brings me on to another point about the pricing of this damn thing. Okay, so what you're getting here is you're just getting a multiplayer. Now, people have been doing this with Call of Duty for ages. You know, it's pretty much, you know, campaigns would be like 4 hours worth of. Yeah,
but at least you got a campaign. Even the previous Battlefield games had campaigns as well.
But in this, you've just pretty much got multiplayer, and then multiplayer without the multi. So like you said, the single players are just bot versions of other kind of game modes, really. So there's not really much difference there. So for me, they're asking us to pay on release of this game £50 in England, with the season pass, which is another £50. So if you want, you know, other content to make this maybe more of a fuller game, then you're going to be spending £100, which is far too much for a game with almost no extra content.
Yeah, if you're committed to it and want to grinding it to the top level and get all your star cards, and you want that fucking Shadow Trooper outfit, even though that's a really stupid idea, especially if you ever play on Hoth.
Yep.
Because the Shadow Trooper is black, completely black and shiny, so you are going to stick out like a fucking sore thumb. Yeah. Then you may even get your money's worth out of it. But for most people, they'll just play the maps a few times, and there's better multiplayer games out there that I can be playing. Call of Duty is better. Previous Battlefields is better. The only real reason to play this is Star Wars paint job. And for me, why would you get such a story-rich setting and then not do a story with it? It's nuts.
Yeah, and many people I've seen reviewing this game so far have just said the obvious thing that you just touched on. It's the game with the biggest story involved space drama in fucking history, and you've reduced it down, distilled it into bang bang run die. That's it. That's what you've done. EA, you're still a bastard. Okay, let me get that out there. DICE, what are you doing? You can do better than this. B+.
Although, in DICE's defence, we should probably say that it was an extremely smooth launch. I don't have any connectivity issues whatsoever, which is a rarity for a DICE game.
I've seen one glitch, and that was just someone who died. Their body was kind of hovering, but that is the only thing that's done. Mind you, when I'm playing it on my PC, it does not like me switching windows very much. If I'm trying to stream it, it will suddenly pop up and say, do you want to change your colour mode in Windows? And do random things. So apart from that, which is probably more my side than the game side, perhaps. But I haven't really seen any problems, and it has been a smooth launch.
Yeah, also, being the Frostbite engine, it's been embedded in now. We know what it can do. It runs extremely well. It has a lot of scalability and possibly some of the best colourblind options I've ever seen in my life. Yeah,
really gone to town on that. So there are good points to this game. I just don't think it's worth the £50.
It's certainly not, in my opinion. The mode I like most is probably the most bare bones mode, which is Fighter Squadron, because I can actually get kills in that because it aims for me.
Yeah, but that's really... I find that boring. I really find that boring, because what happens... See, after a period of time, people get used to how the game is played, right? People learn the maps, people learn the weapons, people learn the tactics, which, you know...
Grenade!
Oh, another grenade! But yeah, with this game, with the Fighter Squadron, you will spend, I'd say 80% of your time flying like this. Just round and round and round in a circle, trying to get someone else in their sights who is doing the same thing. Right? The same, just going round in fucking circles like that all the time. And then what's going to happen? Someone will just spot you and get behind you, shoot you before you can shoot the guy in front of you. That's what I find.
I think he just sucks because I was able to go from kill to kill, as he will show you in the footage when he edits it, or maybe he won't, as he's a bastard.
No, we'll just show me throwing a grenade into a post and blowing myself up. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? And embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, I think the game itself is, if you're a Star Wars absolute nut, you're going to be disappointed. You'll probably have bought it already because you're a Star Wars nut. I think it's a very difficult one to kind of think about because this game isn't bad. In my personal view, this game isn't bad. It does the shooter thing competently. You know, it's got Star Wars in it, so kids are going to love it. It does everything right in that respect. It's just when you have spent your money, your 50 hard-earned English pounds, or 60 hard-earned US dollars.
Why did you struggle saying hard-earned there?
I don't know. I earn my speech.
It's okay, we have actually no American viewers.
We do have Polish viewers.
Yeah, but we didn't say Euro.
No, so I think that's harder to work out. But yes, the when you're spending your hard-earned money on it, it just doesn't feel like you've got your money's worth.
No, I would absolutely agree. I think less of the game mechanics than Snare does. To me, it's extremely unbalanced. The gunplay isn't as good as previous DICE offerings. I don't think the gameplay is as good as previous DICE offerings. It almost seems like they're using the Star Wars license as a crutch. For me, if I was to rate this game, it'd be 5 out of 10.
That's quite low. That's quite low. I think for me, because I've had fun with it so far, I haven't wanted to put it down as much as I thought I would after seeing some people's initial reactions. We both played the beta, and I think that might have skewed our views a bit because it does feel like we're just still playing a beta.
Yeah, it definitely does. It feels like it's a multiplayer stress test, and you'll buy the game later and you'll get the rest of the game, and there's no more of it. There's no more of it that the £50 will get you anyway.
And I certainly feel the same kind of feelings that I do for Battlefront as I did for Destiny. I'm sure we've spoken about it before, but it feels fun when you're playing with friends. If you're playing on your own, it feels like a grind. And I'm getting that kind of same feeling from Battlefront. It's not floating my boat as much as I wanted it to, but I'm still enjoying it when I'm playing it. And there are moments of awesomeness that happen by accident, obviously, because I'm not that awesome at this game. But there are moments of awesomeness that happen. You're like, yeah! I mean, like, taking someone out with a headshot is always fun. It's happened maybe 4 times in the 17 hours I've been playing it, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if I had to mark it out of 10, I would go slightly higher, but I wouldn't go much higher, so probably a bit of 6. Because I've had a little bit more fun and you're just a negative son of a bitch.
Well, my outstanding moment was hiding on top of a fucking ship.
Which is where you should have fucking stayed.
I did stay there, they came up after me.
Yeah. Oh, can we just play that again?
We better bloody hope you can find this now.
Get out there.
I'm gone! Running away! Oh, fucking laser now!
Oh, this is brilliant.
Oh.
Mate, 24/7, that was valiant. That was a valiant hide. Well done. Overall, that's our view of Battlefront. I think it's a fun game. Let's not get too excited about it. Wait till it comes down in price and it'll probably feel like it's more worth it. I reckon wait for it to come down to about 20 quid.
Or hopefully wait for a couple of years and maybe get the Game of the Year edition, which has all of the DLC for one price.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Do that. Absolutely. So, guys, that's our review of Battlefront. I hope you enjoyed it. Take a moment to leave a comment, rate us and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye. I've noticed.
Yep, you do sort of twiddle like that.
When you pick up something, you get that feeling of like looking at something. It's very, very weird. It's been done before with Eleanor, as I said, but it works. You know, you're picking up clues, you're having a look at Bernie on his unicorn, and that was just immense. But we are going off on tangents here. We need to talk about the game. So we talked about the gameplay and the structure of the missions and what you can do in the game, and the story's kind of might get better.